Yo, 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 what's up? It's Marlo with Paradigm Shift. This is episode 6. Age is just a number. First, I want to start it off with a conscious breath. That basically means a breath that you are consciously making. Now you are in the present with me. What's up? This is episode 6. We're talking about age. We're talking about birthdays. Everybody has a birthday every year. Mine's coming up in December. I'm turning 35. When I was a teenager, I wanted to grow up so quickly. I wanted to turn 18. I wanted to be able to start drinking, or is it 19 here? I don't know. 19 here? 21? No, it's 19. Anyways, I wanted to turn 19. I wanted to be older. And then as I got older, as I hit 20s, I wanted to be younger again. Because all of a sudden I had responsibilities. I had to get a job. I had to start paying bills, cell phone, rent, blah, 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 blah. And then I wanted to go back to being a kid with no responsibilities. And I see this, I definitely saw it in myself in the past, especially when you hit that like 25, around 25 is when you're like, oh shit, like this ain't stopping. It's just happening. Every year I'm getting older. And that can play on your mentality, your psychology, your whole outlook in life, because you feel like you can't stop it. You feel like, everything's downhill from here, right? When you reach like 40 or 35 or 30, you start feeling like it's all downhill from here. And I just want to tell you, it's not. It's all a point of view. It's all how you look at it. I mean, the real answer is when you are conscious, when you are in the moment, these things, they don't even matter to you. You're just living moment by moment. I know I sound like a broken record, but it's literally the answer to everything. My girlfriend always, I talk to her about my videos because she watches them. And she tells me I like your videos, but sometimes I feel like you're not telling me the answer at the end of the video. And I think it's because I say the same thing for everything. And that is being conscious, being present is your number one goal. Because that allows you to not think these thoughts that they're not true. Right? They're things put in our head by society. Our society, especially in North America, is all about looks. It's all about outer, right? There's nothing really, for the most part, it's about what's outside. How beautiful are you? How skinny are you? How much muscle do you have? How young do you look, right? And it's mostly, I would say, because they can sell something to you, right? They can make makeup. They can make a dress, make some sort of product that is going to make you look younger. It might, right? It might make your skin look better, but if they don't have that, because everybody's so fearful of things, right? It's this pain, it's the pain body, and it's the ego. Right, the pain body it wants to hold on. It wants to look in the past. It wants to hold on to this pain. It wants to feel inferior. It's something that is a part of all of us, and people have it to varying degrees. But it's that thing that makes you feel small, right? And the only way to get rid of these things is to be present, to be in the moment, to use your senses. But, just dissecting it from almost a psychological point of view, age is really just a number, right? You can calculate, okay, I'm going to live till 80 and this is the midpoint at 40 and blah, 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 blah. But mostly what happens is people start feeling, I'm 35. I can't do this anymore. You feel like you should be done, right? When you're a young kid and you think about 40 is almost dead. You know what I mean? When you're a kid and you're thinking about 40, you're like, 40's done. When I hit 40, I'm old as fuck. I'm probably going to be in a home. But then when you get to 35, you realize, hey, life is still going. Life is still going good. I can do so much. There's so much out there for me. There's so many things I haven't tried. There's so many things that I want to do. There's so many, life is still open, right? And a lot of people, they get so depressed as these years tick by. I know someone who is like 22 and has told me like, I'm so old. And I just want to like be like, dude, I'm almost 35, bro. If you are old, then I'm fucking decrepit. You know what I mean? And that's not the case. I don't believe that. Number one, I'm able to be present. I'm always trying to focus on here, what's in front of me. So I'm not constantly thinking about this shit, right? You can get anxiety from constantly projecting the future, thinking about the future, thinking about things that don't really matter. You make them matter. You create this sense of dread. You create this anxiety. It's all internal. And the reason you haven't changed yet is because, number one, you haven't admitted it. You haven't faced up to it. You haven't taken the steps or read books. Like when I started getting into spirituality, it wasn't even spirituality in the beginning. I came out of a horrible relationship when I was like 24, really young, really confused, wondering what did I do wrong? What's wrong with me? And realizing, okay, how are you going to make yourself better? And so I had to stare myself in the mirror and say, what are these things that are quote unquote wrong with you? What can you improve on? And then I started to look into motivational things like Tony Robbins and, 7 habits for a highly effective, I forgot what it is, highly effective something. There were so many books out there. And then I started to get into spirituality. So it slowly started to kind of chip away at these things that maybe I never looked at before. So that's one of the things. Like, it doesn't matter how old you are, you can start now. If you start right now, you start your journey. You look up at Mount Everest and you take that first step. And that first step is important because you don't get to the peak. You don't get to summit Mount Everest until you take that first step. Now that journey might take a long time. You're going to fall down a cavern. You're going to, get stuck and have to dig your way out. You're going to have to fight wolves, metaphorically. You're going to have to go through these ups and downs and these triumphs and failures. But if you don't start, then you're going to be 60 and you're going to say, I wish I started when I was 40. I wish I started when I was 30. I wish I started when I was 20, right? And in the end, it all doesn't matter. All this stuff is just icing on the cake. All this stuff is just, think of it like a game. You are playing an RPG and you want to make your character better. So what do? You start doing some chores for people. You start working on you start cutting wood, trees down, you're working and chipping away and gaining experience points. But if you don't do anything, if you just sit there, you don't gain the points, right? But that's not to say that the person who just sits there and doesn't do anything is not valid than the person who summits Mount Everest. You need to stop thinking that people are at different levels than each other, right? They might be on the surface level. This person might have a six-pack, this person might be fat. But deep down, everybody is the same. We're all on the same level. Some people might be more unconscious than other people. Some people might be more conscious than people. You know, some people might be more wealthy, rich. But this whole age thing is us trying to hold on to something that we feel like we're losing, right? And I hate to tell you this, but we're all going to die sometimes. The quicker you face that and realize I am going to die, the more freedom that statement even gives you. When you let go of things, when you just say it's all good, you start to notice things coming to you because you're in the flow of the universe, right? The universe isn't thinking these things. It's not thinking, oh, this planet is so fucking old. Like, this planet is not thinking, I'm so old. Like, dude, I'm like 20 million years old. Like, 50 million's coming around and I feel like I'm done. Like, these humans on me are really fucking me up and I feel just so decrepit and shit. Like, look at that planet. That planet is way younger than me. Like, you know what I mean? There's no humans on that planet. The universe doesn't work in the same ways that humans work because we are just a small portion of that. So age, right? You got your birthday coming up. You have your birthday coming up and you're turning 40. And all you can think about is, the past. Remember, I loved her. And she just threw it all away. Or I fucked up. I could have been married by now, but I could have had kids by now. I could have had the yacht that I wanted. I should have stayed at that job. I should have went to school. I should have, right? You're not living here. You're not present. You're living in the past. You're holding on. You want to hold on to something. And then you could do the opposite, right? You could say, in the future, right? In the future, I'm going to be, at 50, I'm going to be amazing. At 50, I'm going to be a billionaire. I'm going to have control over the world. That's your ego, right? It's your ego projecting a time that doesn't exist and using the present moment as a means to an end. The present moment is just something to get you to this future place, right? You know, there's a lot of motivators and business people who talk about that a lot, which I definitely don't agree with. Is always think about the future. Who you are right now isn't who you're going to be, of course. But when you are in the present moment, you are able to deal with those things. Because when you're present, it's almost like it's a Pandora's box. It opens everything to you. You open up who you are. You're able to look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm too fat right now. I have anxiety issues right now. My ego is too huge. People don't like me. Why is that, right? And it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter your age. You can do this at 60. Whatever the age you are right now is what you are. There's no going in the time machine into the past. You can't go back. So start now. Why not? It'll be a fun ride. You know, put yourself into the moment and be honest with yourself. And the truth is you can do anything you want. Your wildest dreams are achievable, right? And society and your parents and your friends and so many things, the music you listen to, the movies that you watch, the media, so many things can be making you feel that it's not achievable, that without some sort of, you have to be better, before you can start doing these things? No. It's just probably that you haven't done any of the things because you've been worried about being too old, and then the years are passing you by, and then all of a sudden you're 60 and you're realizing, okay, I can't climb Mount Everest anymore. When I was 40, I had the thought that I could do it, and now I'm 60 and I spent all my time worrying that I was too old when I was 40, and I had 10 years to work on it. Right, so the age that you are right now is where you are. You can't do anything about it, but you can start working on yourself, right? And this video it's not just about, oh, you can do anything at your age. It's also about, it's all good where you are. You might be old and not dating and not doing the things that you used to love to do, but that's okay. You're living your timeline. When you're in the present moment, you can be on your deathbed and still enjoying life. Maybe you're sick, maybe you're hurting, but you're present. You're there, experiencing it. And that's when true life, true love comes out, when you are present, when you are there enjoying every moment, whether you're 5 years old, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Sometimes you see these videos of someone who's turning 100 who still has energy, life, joyfulness. You know, they might be hurting, their bones may be brittle, but they are there. They're living it. They're enjoying these moments. And not every second of your life is going to be enjoyable or happy. You might go through sadness and depression and hurt, pain, anger, all these quote unquote negative things. But when you're present through them, you can get out of that darkness quicker. So that is me talking about age, birthdays. At the end of my videos, I stopped doing this, but I want to start doing it again. I'm going to teach you quick ways how to be present in the moment. The first way is to notice the little details. We're so swept up with all these big things, right? All the big things, we forget the tiny little details. You know, notice the smell of the laundry, of the flowers. Notice small drips of rain on your window. Notice the light coming out of the computer screen. Notice your breathing. It's not just about noticing these beautiful, massive, expansive things like a sunset. Those are easy to put you in the moment, but it's the tiny things that you're able to do it at any time. Another step or another thing is use your senses. Take a conscious breath. Feel the air going into your lungs and out of your lungs. What do you hear? I hear my voice. I hear my computer. I hear the fan. What can you smell? I smell the pork that I just made, the rice. What can you see? I see my computer program open and the little lines of my voice. Now you're in the moment. And you need to keep practicing that. Doing it once is all great, but you have to keep practicing. You may not understand it yet, but the more and more you practice, the more you'll get it. All right, that is episode 6. Paradigm shift. Age is just a number. I'm your host, Marlo. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Have a great night. Take care. Peace.